All right, so welcome to my website. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the traits and habits that I learnt from some very highly successful people in person and by reading hundreds of books. And these traits and habits changed my life. And if you implement these in your life, then they're going to change your life too. So I've got a little list going on here. I don't normally make lists when I make videos. I normally just talk what comes out of my brain, but some of this stuff is quite important. So I've made a quick little list to myself, just so I don't miss anything. So what are we going to talk about first? So the ability to learn. Many people, if they're in the 99%, we're talking about wealth creation here. So we're talking about the 1%, the people that make a lot of money, millionaires, successful business people. Those in the 1%. So if you look at those in the 99%. They have the inability to learn. They can't take on new ideas. They've got these sort of ideas, traits and habits stuck into them. And, that used to be me and maybe that's you. If that's you, it's not necessarily your fault because if you look how you was brought up, if you was always surrounding yourself around average people in the 99%, like your friends, your family, your schooling, everything that you know is kind of like based on what the 99% know. You're a result of your surroundings. So it's no wonder that these traits and habits are going to rub off on you. You learn by surrounding yourself around different groups of people by osmosis. It's like a baby cow learns how to eat grass and how to walk. It learns by being around its mother and just seeing how things done, and it kind of naturally just rubs off on the little baby cow without even thinking about it. So it's the same with you and I. When we surround ourselves with certain people, then that naturally rubs off onto us without us even knowing, like subconsciously. We don't even know that we're doing it. So when new ideas come, maybe from the 1%, then this might go against what we have learnt our whole entire life. So it's difficult to take it in. So one trait you must have is the ability to learn. If you look at the billionaire Warren Buffett, he still reads for 5 hours a day, and he's a multi-billionaire. He's one of the richest people in the world, and he still reads around about 5 hours a day just to learn more and more and more. If you look at Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, he used to go to competitor stores, and he used to spend a good portion of his day travelling the country, maybe even the world, to see what competitors did that he didn't know about, because he didn't want others knowing stuff that he didn't. So if you look at all super highly successful people, they continually keep learning more and more and more. If I look at some of my rich friends, this is a trait that they all have. They're always constantly looking to learn more. And you can learn from everybody. So, for example, you can learn from a poor person what not to do if your goal is to make a lot of money. So if you take the advice you take must come from the right person. So you must take your advice from people like Sam Walton and other highly successful people. Look at you need to find what your goal is, and then look at some people that are that have reached that goal that you have, or at least 10 years ahead of you, and then from those people you can learn. So if somebody poor is trying to give you financial advice, then you don't want to listen. In the same way that if you're learning to drive a car, you're going to get advice from somebody that can already drive a car. So you're not going to get advice from somebody that can't drive a car. And in the same way with business, you're not going to take financial advice from somebody that doesn't know how to make money. So, don't listen to the naysayers. But you can learn from everybody. You can learn from those people that are doing it wrong. You can learn from them what not to do. So another trait is surrounding yourself with highly successful people. And I know that's not always practical in the real world. I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to speak to many millionaires. And but I also read many books. I read hundreds of books. This is just a small book collection that I have. I've got many more at home. So I spend a good portion of my day reading from some super highly successful people, many millionaires. And just to sort of have all these traits and habits kind of rub off on me. I'm not saying that if you've got poor friends, you should not be with them anymore. But what I am saying is that you should start surrounding yourself with some more successful people, even if it's just books, YouTube videos, stuff like that from some highly successful people. Then you can compare what the poor people do, and then you can compare that to what the rich people do. And in that way, you can do that in all aspects of life. The way that a rich person walks and talks and handles himself, and how he handles arguments and how he does business deals. It's all kind of, it all kind of a whole lot of stuff that gets put into like a big hot pot, what makes them who they are. And if you want to get up that ladder of success, if you want to get better, then you have to start doing new things. I mean, Einstein said insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So if you're not in the position that you want to be in and you're doing everything the same all the time, you're never going to get any better. The only way to get better is by learning new ideas and by trying new things. Now, we learn by mistakes, but they do not necessarily need to be our mistakes. So mistakes can be very timely, they can be very time consuming and very costly. If you've got to try and figure this stuff out for yourself, it can take many, 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 many years. And, although none of this is a get-rich-quick scheme, get-rich-quick schemes do not work. They're only scams. The only true shortcut to your success is by learning from others and by other people's mistakes to save you making those mistakes, and then by you taking action and doing what's required to get that job to work. So the next thing I want to talk about is being realistic about things. So many people are pessimistic, and they might bump into a business opportunity and they're just like, scam, and they'll just walk away, and they could be leaving like the thing that could change their life. They're just walking away from it. So if you're too pessimistic, you're going to paralyse yourself in order to succeed in pretty much any business. You're going to fail at anything in life. You're not going to be able to take on new ideas. Everything you see, you're going to see it as a scam. And if that's you, then you're really going to limit yourself into what you can achieve in your life. At the same time, you don't want to be overly optimistic, because if you're too optimistic and everything you look at, you think, yes, I'm going to do it, then you could fall victim to scams. So you need to be realistic. So when you bump into a business situation or something that could be something beneficial to you and could help you in your goals and in your business and in your career and to help you get to your goals, you need to look at it with an open mind and then make a decision based on real data, on real facts, and then test it for yourself and see if it works. And so, a trait that many poor people have is that they think that the rich are only rich due to luck. And there is some truth to that, because roughly 10% is luck. So this for you could be possibly bumping into this video and watching this video. For you that could be your little 10% luck. But then the 90% is what you do with that luck. So that is you taking action. That is you doing with that luck what you found and then doing what's required. So many of us, we walk into lucky situations every now and then for our life. And if we fail to act on those lucky situations, it doesn't matter how lucky you are, you're never going to succeed. So yes, take that 10% luck when you bump into a situation, and then 90% you have to take action. The next thing I want to talk about is perfection. A lot of people procrastinate because they think that everything they do has to be absolutely perfect. But if you look at the iPhone, for example, the Apple iPhone, they made Apple iPhone 1, and the iPhone 1 was far from perfect. But Apple still went on to build one of the most successful businesses ever to exist. And that was with a phone that is far, far, far from perfect. So they had to make the iPhone 2, then the iPhone 3, and the 4, and the 5, and the 6, and the 7, and the 8, and the 9, and the so on. So don't worry about being too perfect, because if you're too perfect, you're going to paralyse yourself to even take action. Paralysis by overanalysis. You're thinking about things too much, and that's going to stop you from taking any action at all. So do something. Doing anything is better than nothing. You can always change, you can always improve later on, but make a start. The next thing I want to talk about is value. Price versus value. So the price is what you pay. So for example, a book like this, I can't remember how much this one cost, $9. So $9 is the price. The value is what you get out of that product. So if you look at Jeff Bezos from Amazon, he learnt from Sam Walton, and by learning from others, as I said, you shave years and years and years off of the learning process. You learn by other people's mistakes. So Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, he read this book, and he took Sam Walton, as his mentor. Not in real life, because he's dead, he's died now. But he's read the book and he's taken advice from him, and he's seen what he's done, and he's used it to his advantage. So the price of the book, $9. But the value of the book, the value he got out of that book, to Bezos, this is an extreme case, but possibly billions. So to you, picking up a book, it may be worth, over the course of its lifespan that you have the book, may be worth to you hundreds, thousands, millions possibly, and to some even billions. So everything you see, you have to see it as a value versus a price. So one book that I recommend, for example, is The One Thing. So this book cost $10 or £10. I'm in the UK. But the value I got from this is hundreds of thousands. Some of the stuff that I got from this book, some of the traits that this taught me, has really helped me succeed at my businesses. You have to look at things. When you see something, don't just look at the price, you have to look at the value you get from it as well. So for example, if you go to McDonald's, you may think, burger and fries, it was cheap. That's the price. But then the value, it's killing you, it's bad food, it's unhealthy, it's going to make you fat. Yeah, it's gonna eventually kill you sooner. So the value there is like negative. If you buy an expensive pair of shoes, you may be paying a couple of $100 for a pair of shoes. That's the price, a couple of $100. But what value are you getting? And you want to do that in all aspects of your life, and especially in business. When you see something, this is why when you look at the highly successful, they all say the number one investment is investing in yourself. So learning from books, learning from others, speaking to people. So the number one investment is learning in yourself. So when you see a book, and remember, you only need to get one nugget. There might be one little gold nugget in this book, and that one little gold nugget could be enough that could 10x, 100x, 1,000 times your business and 1,000 times your growth. You could be doing something and you're getting everything right, but there's one little thing that you've done wrong, and you could get that little nugget out of a book. So that book could, potentially billions, but for most of us, thousands at least. You're going to save thousands and thousands in years and years and years of your life just by buying a cheap little book. So as I said, I've read hundreds and hundreds of books. Not all books have helped me, but I've got little nuggets from certain books, especially this one, and many other books. I've got little nuggets of information that have helped me change my life. And then every time I speak to some highly successful people, I learn a little bit more. And then this stuff that I learn, I'll then test it and I put it to use and I see if it works. And I'll approach everything with an open mind, because I always know that I could be wrong. Because you're stuck in that position that you are, because you're doing something not quite right somewhere. So as you learn new traits, as you come over and you learn more of these things that highly successful people do, then you're going to start noticing that you're going to get more and more and more successful. So I used to be completely broke. I used to be in a lot of debt. And every business that I ever touched, it never worked. I always failed at everything that I did. And this is because I didn't know any of these traits. To be successful at business, you need two things. You need a skill set and a mindset. So the skill set is saying you're doing an eBay business or an Amazon business. The skill set is knowing how to operate that business. Then the mindset are the traits and the habits that you must have in order to get the skill set stuff and the business to actually work. If you're thinking of the mindset completely wrong, if you're in the 99% and you've got a 99% mindset, then it doesn't matter what business you go into, you're going to fail. So if I look across many successful people, many entrepreneurs, across many different businesses, they all share the same traits. And the more of these traits that somebody has, the more and more successful people get. So the more of these traits that I was learning and implementing in my own businesses, the more and more my bank account just kept going up and up and up and up and up. And the more of these traits that I'm learning, it just keeps going up. So what I found over the past 10 years, I spent the last decade studying from hundreds of successful people, many millionaires, some billionaires. And I've tested this stuff for myself and to see what works and to see what doesn't work. And this stuff that I'm learning and about to share with you, it's just going to elevate you up like it did to me. It's the only shortcut to success is by learning from others and being in the right mindset. So all these get-rich-quick schemes, they don't work. There's no shortcut to hard work, and by learning from others and by implementing and by doing the right thing. And by learning by others is the only true shortcut to your success. So I've made a program. I've found that there's 75 of these traits that highly successful people have. So I put together a little program, 75 videos. Each video is roughly 5 to 10 minutes, some 15, 20 minutes. But I wanted to keep the videos not too long because of the attention span of people. People tend to get bored after 5-10 minutes. So I've tried to keep each videos as short as possible by getting all the information in there. And this is all stuff that I've tested. So 75 videos, and if you're interested in taking part in this, it's going to take you roughly a couple of months to complete. So you're going to start off day number 1 on lesson number 1, and you're going to learn the most important trait. Number 2, you're going to learn another trait. Number 3, another trait. So every day you're going to be learning a trait or a habit that these super highly successful people have. And the more these traits that you're going to start picking up and taking action on, the more and more your success is going to go up and up and up and up. So I'm going to put a link to that program down below. Now, it's not free, it's a paid for program, but the information that you're going to get in here, this could make you thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions. Because without these traits, no matter what business you try, you're going to fail. And these are not my traits. As I said, this is not stuff that I invented. These are traits that I got from many successful people, and I tested them and learnt them myself and put them together in this program. And as I said, we have to keep learning. So I'm still learning myself. So as I learn more of these traits, I'm putting them in this program as bonus sections. So this is ongoing. As I learn more, I'll share this stuff with you. You know, remember, Warren Buffett, multi-billionaire, he still reads for 5 hours a day because even he knows that he doesn't know it all and that he's still learning more. The minute you stop learning is the minute you start dying. So you must keep learning more. So this stuff that I'm going to share with you is going to really change your life. So they say that you can make or break a good or a bad habit in 30 to 60 days. So this is why if you look at software manufacturers, they give you like a 30-day free trial, because then you kind of use it, you get used to the software. After 30 days, you're so used to using it, you're probably going to end up buying it if it's good. So, so I've found that you can make or break any good or bad habit in 30 to 60 days. So the idea here is that you do a trait a day, one of these traits and habits a day. So it's super easy for you. All you have to do is sit there and listen for 5 to 10 minutes a day, maybe 15, 20 minutes on some of the more subjects. But on average, you're probably going to be, it's going to be around about 10 minutes. And then there's going to be something practical that you can do, because by doing something practical, by writing stuff down, it helps set it into your brain deeper, because you have to change the way you've been doing things. If you've been brought up in the 99%, it's going to take a little bit of work to come out of that and start thinking like the 1% think. So by doing one of these a day, it's going to slowly bring you round. And by the end of the couple of months, 75 days is going to take slightly longer than a couple of months. But as you start picking up these traits, you're going to notice that your life is just going to improve and improve and improve. And businesses that you touch and businesses that you try are going to be more likely to succeed. And you're going to be able to predict outcomes better. That's another trait of highly successful people. You must be able to predict an outcome. You don't want to jump into businesses just blind and just hope for the best. You have to be able to train your brain so you can predict what's going to happen. That's why if you look at good chefs, for example, they can mix some food together and they already know what it's going to taste like. For you and I that don't cook, or some of you guys might cook, but I don't cook really. If I mix a load of ingredients together, I don't know what it's going to taste like. But when it comes to business, and as we learn these traits and habits and we become better, then it becomes easier to envision what the outcome's going to be for like what result you do, what action you give it. So click on the link down below. It's going to take you to the page, to the program. It's going to cost you less than a cup of coffee a day. And there's a 100% refund guarantee. So this is for 30 days. So you've got 30 days to try it out for free. If you don't like it, hit me up an email. The email is at the very first section of the program, and you'll get a refund straight away. My refund policy is the most relaxed in the whole entire industry. You won't find anywhere on the internet anybody that's going to say that I've denied them a refund. I only want people in on this that are actually going to put it to use. And some of these traits you may already have, but some of these you may not. So as you start learning more of these traits, you're going to notice your bank account going up and up and up and up. Everything you touch is going to be more likely to succeed, and you're going to reach your goals a lot sooner. So try it out for 30 days. See what you think, see if it improves your life. And I know if you take action on this, it's going to improve your life. And if it doesn't, there's a full refund guarantee, so you really can't lose. If it sounds too good to be true, or you're pessimistic, or you don't think it's going to work, then I just hope that you're going to be happy with whatever job you have. Because without these traits, you cannot succeed. I've done this, I've learnt this myself, I've seen it on other people. I've got poor friends that don't have any of these traits and they're completely broke, they're completely poor. Then I have rich friends and they have more of these traits. And the more of these traits that somebody has, the richer they tend to be. And you'll see, as you go through this program, day after day, and you're taking action, it's going to be roughly 5 to 10 minutes of video, and then roughly about a minute of you taking action, writing stuff down. That's going to sink it into your brain. And as the 30 to 60 days, after 75 days, these traits are really going to start working and they're going to become second nature. You're going to be doing these things without even thinking about them. It's going to become normal and natural. And that is a state that you must be in to succeed. You know, as I said, without knowing these traits, and before I was reading books and before I was speaking to all these people, I was poor and I was broke and I was in debt. Then as I started picking up more of these traits, more and more businesses started working. And now I'm getting a lot more successful and I can have the nicer things in life. So, you know, as I said, I don't know what you want in life. It may not necessarily be Lamborghinis and fast cars and monster trucks. You may want to travel the world. You may want to set up your own business. You may want to quit your job. You may want to care for your family. You just want more money for the nicer things in life. So everybody's different. Everybody has hopes and dreams. But whatever your goal is, these traits are going to get you there much quicker. Click the link down below and I will see you over on my website.